Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, no matter where you are. Um, Welcome to my first few videos. This channel is going to be called Arsenal for now. That's probably a temporary name, I think. It's just a channel that I created on a whim. I don't know. I was feeling like sharing my process of certain things that I do in the video games that I play, and one of the games that I usually play for for a lot of times is called Cyberpunk 2077, and it's currently being installed. So this game has recently got an update. Today is currently December 24. So there was recently an update, I think like 2 weeks ago, and it's version 2.2. So I installed the game after the update dropped. However, there was some conflict in the mods that I installed, and I am actually preparing to take two pictures for an upcoming event that's being held by CDPR, and I decided to, you know what, just do a complete clean installation. And when I was uninstalling and clearing out the mods, I thought, you know what, might as well record a video. It will help me to remember what mods I usually work with and help me decide on which files to download and make things faster. So, since I'm recording, might as well post it somewhere that, might help other people who recently got into mods and find it kind of difficult to decide which mod and like how to download the mods and install them. So I hope that if you stumble upon my video and you have any issues with mods, I may be help. I may be of some assistance in some sort of ways. So while the game is being installed, I will just go through some of the basic mods that I work with. Basically, in Cyberpunk, there is a few types of mod. So, starting off with the universal mods. So, these mods are basically required for most, if not all, the other mods out there. For example, all these mods, in some sort of ways, do require these mods. So, we must have all these mods, and after that we will talk about standard initial mods. So universal mods: CET, Cyber Engine Tweaks, Red Script, Red for EXT, Archive XL, Tweak XL, Codeware, where yeah, this is Codeware. Then we have Input Loader, and we have Cyber CMD. Next we have standard initial mods. So these are the mods that will be the mods that we actually interact with within the game, okay? Which will become much more easier once we start seeing how I use the mods within the game. However, like there are pictures within this page as well. Alright. For example, let's say native settings. So native settings will basically look like this. If we go to our settings or like the menu page, we will see that load game settings, and then this mods will appear and this whole page will appear. So this is something that would be, so basically if you read flashlight, so if you download the flashlight mod, it will have its own UI right inside this mods section. So that's basically what native settings UI is. Browser extension is basically a new extension that's going to be added within the computers that you interact with in the game. And virtual atelier, virtual car dealers are basically the two main websites that are going to be in the PC. So the browser extension is the framework for these two mods. Then we have appearance menu mods, or AMM, which is basically spawning or like spawning NPCs or and different clothes, everything. Like it's basically props and like NPCs. It's a pretty important asset when you are taking pictures within the game, and for me, it's pretty important as well. Equipment EX is basically I might as well just show it. Equipment EX. Yeah, so basically, in this whole section that you can see is what it's what's the purpose of equipment EX. It basically creates this whole section and all these options for you. Then we have no introvids, which is basically the one with Drake's picture on it. And this mod is basically when you start Cyberpunk, you will see that there is this unskippable whole section, which this mod will completely eliminate. And then we have simple menu, which is an important asset in order for me specifically. This is basically allowing us um, to execute certain features such as evading police, teleporting to certain locations, which I use all the time. And for example, if you want $9 million, you can just put in the value and just execute it. This is basically a whole cheat mod, and this is extremely immersive breaking. And the only reason I would use it is when I'm not playing the game seriously. And next we have these mods. Now, I would suggest to skip these mods. Well, I wouldn't call them mods. These are basically NVIDIA files which are targeted, or which are basically the program files dedicated to DLSS and frame generation. So I would only suggest to install all the other mods and then go and install one of these mods and just see if there is any sort of difference. If you don't see any major differences, I wouldn't necessarily download these mods. But after I have downloaded these mods and after I did have them installed, I did see a little bit of difference here and there. So these are not extremely important, but they will become important down the road for sure. And then we have the visual mods, which are basically a whole list, and it would take a long time to go through each one of them. It would rather be beneficial if I just go through each one of them when I'm actually showing you what I'm doing in the mods. We have these other mods which can be done later on, as these are not as important as the other ones. And yeah, for now, I hope the explanation was at least understandable, and stay tuned for my next video where I start applying the mods once my game is completely installed after 23 minutes. Thank you and have a great day.